Okay, so we're gonna dive deep into not necessarily what the metabolism is, because that is a whole different call that I've done a couple times, and I definitely will do that. But mainly just how to boost your metabolism. So real quickly, a very baseline understanding your metabolism is what keeps your body alive. That is the main goal of your metabolism, is to account for being alive. And what it has to do is adapt and adjust to its environment for all different things. So metabolic function plays a role in everything as far as like hormones, digestion, your longevity, everything. So when it comes to your fitness journey, how is it relevant to you, to losing body fat, gaining muscle mass, feeling better, looking hotter, looking more toned, all that? Your metabolism is, you could talk about your BMR, so your basal metabolic rate, how many calories you burn each day. I'm sure you guys have probably heard that, right? Your metabolism, your metabolic like set point, your basal metabolic rate. And then you've probably heard, oh, calorie deficit. That's what I need to do in order to lose weight. I need to be in a calorie deficit. Okay, yes. And there's so much more to that. If that was the only thing you needed to do to lose body fat, and if it was just that simple, I would not have a job. No one would be overweight, and we would all just be lean and fit and healthy because it's that simple. Now, the tricky part is, like I talked about in the beginning, is that your metabolism adapts. So it's ever changing, literally day to day, month to month, week to week. So let's go over what does not boost your metabolism. One, eating small meals frequently. These are just a couple things that I see floating around the internet. So I've heard before, I also worked at a gym that tried to tell us to tell clients, yeah, tell your clients they need to eat small meals frequently. And that's just not true. That's not going to speed up your metabolism. No shake, no pill, no supplement is going to speed up your metabolism. If anyone, any Instagram product, any social media influencer, whatever, is trying to tell you that these pills speed up your metabolism, unfollow them. They're just trying to sell you something, which whatever, I guess we're just always in a world of trying to be sold something. But stay far away from that, because if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is, right? No quick fixes. Unfortunately, it's not a thing. Also, your genetics. A lot of people think that their metabolism is just completely dictated by their genetics or how old they are, or it's always been like that. So it's always going to, I'm always going to have a slow metabolism. I've always been like that. My mom does. It's also not the case. So now let's get into the 5 things that do boost your metabolism. One, a high protein diet. So it takes more calories to burn and use protein than it does to digest it. Your body is not wanting to store protein as body fat compared to carbs and fats, right? So we have overall calories. Now, under that umbrella, food is broken into 3 macronutrients: protein, carbs, and fats. Your body wants to store carbs and fats and use it for energy, store it as body fat. Okay, so there's a lot of benefits to carbs and fats, which is a whole different conversation. So not to fear those, but we really want to prioritize a high protein diet because your body does not want to store that as body fat. Okay, so a high protein diet will also help build and retain muscle, which muscle is the organ that's the biggest indicator of your metabolism or your metabolic rate, your BMR. So if somebody has a lot of muscle on them, we know that they have a high metabolic rate. If somebody does not have any muscle on them, we know they have a low metabolic rate. So a lot of times we're not dealing with people who have too much body fat on them. A lot of times we're dealing with people who are under muscled. Okay. And under muscled causes high body fat. So now if we can focus on building lean muscle mass, you are going to be burning more calories. You're going to have a faster metabolism, and your metabolic functions just all around energy, digestion, hormones are all going to work better. 2, intentionally dieting in phases. So I get this a lot. Tara, I've done this diet before in the past, or, in 2020, I lost a lot of weight, and suddenly I plateaued, or that diet isn't working anymore. What's happening is your metabolism adapted. So if you've aggressively dieted, meaning you've just slashed calories down, maybe you were eating 2,000 calories and now you're eating 1,200, that is not going to be helpful long term. Sure, you might lose weight. And when I say weight, that also means muscle mass. That also means bone density. And we just learned that muscle mass helps you burn calories. So now you're down regulating your metabolism. You're probably going to be having harmful effects on your hormones, maybe mental fatigue, just overall stress isn't able to be managed as well. Or yo-yo dieting, meaning 1 week you're doing keto, a couple months later you're doing I don't know, 75 hard, a couple months later you're doing vegan, then you're doing intermittent fasting, whatever. If it has a name, if it has a label, it's a fad diet, it's a yo-yo diet. We're really going to focus on the lifestyle changes here. But yeah, so if you've done something in the past and it's not working before, or you've been on this year-long, 2-year-long, 5-year-long journey of trying to lose weight and nothing is working anymore now, what's happening is that your metabolism has adapted, your metabolism has downregulated. So your metabolism is what you feed it. So if you are consistently eating 1,500 calories, because that was your calorie deficit, now that is your new baseline. That is your new BMR. That is no longer a calorie deficit. So you have two options. We can either lower your calories more, which now we're getting into dangerous territory of reducing how many minerals your body is getting, right? Because our body gets minerals and vitamins from our food. So if we are just restricting, that also means you're probably going to be having less protein. You're probably going to be losing muscle mass. You'll probably be losing energy. You're not going to be able to perform as well in the gym and actually get to the benefits of your workouts that you think you are. Digestion might take a hit. Maybe you're not going to the bathroom every day. Maybe sleep takes a hit. Everything is going to downregulate, okay? Because your metabolism isn't just body fat. And calories don't just affect body fat. Calories are energy. Your whole body requires energy, your immune system. So a lot of times I see clients that get sick all the time or they're stressed all the time, probably because you're not eating enough. So your metabolism is what you feed it. So if you've been feeding it to 1,500 calories, now that's your new metabolism. So whatever you're eating now will become your new metabolic rate. So this is why it's so important to intentionally diet in phases. So having phases, a 3-month phase of conducting a diet, and you don't want to slash calories because then you have nowhere to go. So maybe dropping 100 to 200 calories every 2 to 3 weeks could be a good rate, and making sure that your body's responsive. And then when you get to the point where your body's not responding to that anymore, that's your sign, which is usually right around like the 12-week mark. Come out of that diet slowly, the same way you got in, slowly 1 to 200 over a course of 2 to 3 weeks. Add 1 to 200 over the course of 1 to 2 weeks. Get out of that for, maybe a month, 2 months, 3 months. And then now we can slowly go back down again. And now you're able to lose weight again. So the benefit of slowly getting out of the diet is you're not going to be just immediately putting on all that body fat that you just worked so hard to lose. Now, if you have the downregulated metabolism, if your metabolism now is at that 1,500, 1,300, 1,200 calorie mark, if it's really low and you just immediately have like a big binge on Saturday where you have, 6 slices of pizza or you have a couple donuts in the morning and suddenly you're out of control, or maybe at night you have binges and things like that, that's when you're going to put on a lot of body fat. When your metabolism is really slow, now the excess food that you put on is immediately going to go to body fat. So getting out of a diet is just as important as getting into a diet. I think people take getting into a diet so seriously, right? Like I'm ready to get into a diet. The magic really happens is, can you get out of the diet without putting body fat on? Again, we all know how to eat less, move more. What people are missing is the after the diet, what happens after. Number 3, building muscle. This is single-handedly the best thing you can do for your metabolism. Muscle is also the #1 indicator of longevity. So meaning just living a healthy life without needing to be put on medications or just chronic illness or all-cause mortality. But also your muscle is the #1 indicator of your basal metabolic rate. So think about like a guy. If any of you guys are, have boyfriends or a guy in your life that just has a lot of muscle, right? Because men naturally have more muscle on them. They can eat probably triple the amount that we eat. Why is that? They have a faster metabolism because they have more muscle. Now, does that mean we need to build muscle to look like a guy? Literally, unless you have male hormones in you, you will not end up looking like them, no matter how hard you try. I lift just as frequently as my boyfriend with just as much intensity. I've been doing it for 10 years. I don't look like him by any means. So lift heavy ass weights, train like you're trying to build muscle. You'll get the fat burning effects of strength training before you build too much muscle. I promise you that, okay? You will be lean, shredded, look toned and hot as fuck if you focus on building muscle, lifting heavy weights. You'll experience those fat burning effects way before you experience the, oh my God, I'm too jacked, I'm too bulky, okay? So eating enough and eating more, so eating in a surplus, is what helps build muscle, okay? You're not gonna build that lean muscle mass out of thin air, so you do need to make sure you're feeding it. So now when we eat enough to build muscle, now that muscle is gonna stay on us for a long time. It takes a long time to lose muscle. So you could literally focus on building muscle, strength training for 1 to 2 years. And I wouldn't recommend taking time off of strength training, but you don't need to focus on building muscle after you've, put a good amount of time to it for a while. And then that muscle on you will just be a fat burning machine. You will just be able to eat enough to keep your hormones regulated, to feel good, to not feel like you're restricting yourself or constantly food obsessed all the time. Okay, so more muscle just means more calories burned around the clock. Eat enough, strength train, focus on building muscle, and that's going to be the best way you can speed up your metabolism. Number 4, getting deep, consistent, quality, restful sleep is going to impact every part of your health journey, but especially your metabolism. Okay. I cannot express the importance of sleep. If you do not have your sleep down packed, that really needs to be the first place your attention goes, because everything's going to be all out of whack, including your hormones that affect like your blood sugar, so your cravings and appetite and all that, as well as energy levels and recovery in your brain. So get your sleep under control. If you need tips for that, let me know. Quality sleep will also help you manage stress. So stress is a hormone. Stress is cortisol, right? So managing your stress by having quality sleep will improve your hormone health, which hormone health improves metabolic function to burn calories around the clock. So hormones are directly tied to your metabolism, which are directly tied to your body's ability to lose fat. That's why as a fitness coach, my main goal is to get you to lose body fat, feel confident, look toned, right? So why am I talking about hormones? Why am I talking about stress and sleep? These things play such a massive role in your body's ability to lose fat. And then number 5, lastly, walking. Walking is also one of the best things you can do for your metabolism, like Kelsey right now, my step queen. Woohoo! So walking manages glucose and insulin levels, which these are the hormones that control hunger, cravings, your energy levels, as well as your metabolic function. Just stay active in general, hit your daily steps, move more throughout the day. Okay. So if you move more throughout the day, you're going to be burning more calories, which means you have a faster metabolism. And you can go as hard as crazy as you want on the cardio machines. You can do HIIT classes, yada, yada. What's always going to burn the most calories is walking, just staying active throughout the day. Okay. You're in the gym, you're in your workout for 45, 60 minutes. Maximum 90 minutes. By the way, if you're working out any longer than 90 minutes, you are literally just doing more harm than good. You're going to start burning through muscle. You only have so much glucose to work through. So the maximum amount of calories you can burn in that 90 minutes is nothing compared to the amount of calories that you can burn throughout the rest of the day, throughout the other 23 hours of the day. So just stay active, walking, moving, all that. So that's it. So those are the 5 tips and tricks to increase your metabolism. Do I have any comments, questions, concerns, anything that hit or stuck out? No? Cool. All right. Pretty simple to the point. Hopefully this is helpful throughout your journey. Thank you guys for joining in, and I'll see you next week. Bye.